Just a brief background of yourself before the Madaraka Festival. Who was Simon before Madaraka Festival?
Before the dreads.
Well, thank you again. There are a number of audience members that I have a lot of love and respect for. So shout out to Ida, Alicia, who actually connected us to Ali and the entire crew that is hosting us here today. And then Suga Shambi, and there's a lot of people involved with Madaraka who are watching the show now. Thank you for all the support that you're giving me. I grew up in Kisumu, right next to Lake Victoria. I grew up in Manyata, which is, the largest slum in Kisumu, but one of the largest in Kenya. And my mother started an orphanage home in 1997. She was a second wife in a polygamist marriage. So I grew up really supporting her. My older brother was involved with a lot of gang-related activities. So I ended up really playing a big role in, supporting my mother with her businesses. Even though she worked for the Ministry of Health in Kenya, she was always doing multiple things to support us. So in the midst of the HIV epidemic in Kenya, our home became a sanctuary for many children that had lost their parents. And so that's where I learned the value of, creating space for other people. But also in 2008, right after the post-election violence in Kenya, at the end of 2007, I was a DJ actually. I was a reggae DJ. That's where the dreads came from. And, I was involved with Metro FM. Junior Dread was really one of my mentors, Fanya or Fanya Mambo. He was one of my mentors in the reggae industry. People like Papa Bingi are some of the people that inspire me. Until today, they're very excited about what we're doing with Madaraka Festival. So, from growing up in Manyata to, spending some time in Nairobi, I learned that music was more powerful than just showbiz, So when we did the music concert after the post-election violence in 2008, we were able to raise a lot of money and feed the kids in my mother's orphanage home for an entire year. And that was just a group of DJs from Kisumu and Nairobi coming together, especially because, things were hard in Kisumu after the post-election violence. Most of you who are watching this, who understand the politics in Kenya, after every 5 years, there's always a stalemate. There's always, that's when tribalism becomes so eminent, So, I learned that I could use my passion in music and the influence I had to transform our community. So, from realizing that the money we are making from showbiz could actually feed children, I also learned that we could actually provide an alternative to the violence, because the politicians in Kenya, as the Kenyans who are watching this know very well, they give young people money to buy drugs and alcohol and machetes so that they can literally kill each other. So I felt that, what about if we bought DJ equipment? What about if we bought music instruments and gave them to the same youth? Would they still go out in the street? So if you go to Kisumu now, you will find that we have a 3-story building. We own the entire space, the land and the building. And it was the orphanage home that my mother started in 1997. Now we've changed it to a creative hub, We have a production studio for music, a film production studio. All of this is money from the Madaraka Festival. So the first Madaraka Festival that was headlined by Mark Lemo and Ryan Lewis, Drez was there. Drez is on the show right now. We used that money to buy equipments here in Seattle. We traveled to Kenya with these equipments. We also traveled with artists who performed at Madaraka. The second year we did that, the third year. So if you go to that space now, you will not believe what you will see. And now we've employed, thousands of youths are benefiting from the work that we're doing. Some of them are literally, touring Europe as we speak, If you all know Apesi is a Benga artist, is a beneficiary of our program.
Wow,
Gabiro,
wow. I know Apesi
necessary.
very, very well. In fact, I was with him in, I think, 2 years ago in December in Kisumu. But
So
go
he
ahead.
learned how to play guitar at One Vibe. His very first guitar
Wow.
teacher was Shamir from Kibera.
Yes.
You know, he's a direct beneficiary of our program, you know. So there are many, but the thing is, even me playing the Nyatiti that is behind me, I learned through that program because we brought elders with young people, you know, because I love our culture. I'm very proud of being an African, and so the best way to, you know, embrace your culture is to actually live it, you know. So while here in the diaspora, you know, the only way we can embrace our Africanness is to live it fully. So with Madaraka Festival, you know, it's an extension of who I am. You know,
Okay.
with One Vibe Media, it's an extension of who I am. I feel that when we go back to our parents, you know, our ancestors, you know, they never had 9-to-5 jobs. You know, they lived their identity. You know, if they were farmers, you know, their whole life was about farming. If they were fishermen, their whole life was about fishing, you know. And so I'm just bringing who I am on a day-to-day basis
Okay.
to form the career and the events and everything that I do.